Hi, beautiful Capricorn. Welcome to a new era. My name's Emma. Capricorn, we're going to do a reading here today for you about what direction you're headed in. And it can be anything and everything. Like it can be in relationships, it can be about your health, it can be about your career journey. Anything goes. So you will feel where this resonates. So think of it as like a period of 6 weeks into the future, the direction that you're headed in. And also, if you feel like at the end of this reading that it really resonated with you and you want to know more, go deeper, or go more personal, then please read in the description box because I do offer personal readings. So if you're interested in that, read about it and send me a message. Okay, what do we have for Capricorn? What direction are they headed in? And at the very end, we're going to see what your angels have to say. What do you have for Capricorn, please? What direction are they headed in? We're going to get a couple of soulmates. Soulmates, Capricorn. You're headed either towards a soulmate relationship or a strengthening of an already existing relationship. We're going to dive deeper into this. And I believe that Gemini, that flip but didn't fully come out. So truth be told, it's interesting. Did Gemini have this as well? Because, okay, so look at the mirror effect. So there's something about like you're mirroring someone else and they're mirroring you. There's a lot that goes on. I just have to tell this little mini story. It's not going to resonate for everyone, but there might be a situation right now where you're facing a person, you're interacting with a person, however that interaction looks, whether that's a family member, whether that's a soulmate in terms of a romantic relationship, whether that is a coworker at your job, whatever relationship this is. I just feel like there's someone mirroring you right now. Like you're showing up for this person to this person, and they're showing you sides that actually mirrors sides within you. So whatever you're working on, or like you're working out something within yourself in the meeting with this person. I hope that makes sense. And you might even like, okay, Capricorn, don't shoot the messenger, but you might think it's all them. Like they're doing this, they're doing that, and like I'm all good. But if you just allow yourself to go, and there's no judgment here. There's no like you're wrong, they're right. You thought they were wrong and you were right. There's no wrong and right here. There's never winning in wrong and right. Right? It's like a team effort. But there's something that wants to be shown to you at this time. And so if you're willing to go a little bit deeper and just look at, like, the truth be told, like, go deeper and see what really authentically is going on for you. Okay? It didn't fully come up, but it was like a little mini story on the side. And then we have 4114. So it's like, that's why I say it's a mirror. 4114. 14 is a new beginning for the heart as well. Okay. There might be more to that story later on. We just needed to get that out first. What else here for Capricorn, generally? Someone has a key to your heart, though, or you might have the key to someone else's heart. And if it's not a romantic partnership, it can be a soul tribe friend, like a really awesome friendship that's coming your way, Capricorn, or it can be like a person, a friend that you're stepping into business with. It can even be an animal, a soulmate in the form of an animal, or a romantic partnership. Okay, it's taking a little bit of time. It might be, and again, it's not going to resonate for everyone, but it might be that some of you guys are really into this relationship right now. Like there's almost nothing else. It doesn't mean that you don't do other stuff, or like don't go to work, or don't see your friends, or don't like maybe you have children, maybe you're seeing your parents, like whatever situation you're in. I just feel like this is a situation where you're focusing a lot on this relationship. It takes up your mind a lot, and if you're really in love or just smitten by this person, that feeling of like whatever you're doing, they're sort of in the back of your mind. So that's might be, well, like, we just had this story and then sort of nothing else comes out. But now as I've shared that, let's see what cards comes out. Capricorn, what direction are they headed in? Mending. 52. So it's the very end of... So the mending card is all about... Seeing a lot of orbs here. The mending card is all about like fixing, healing broken relationships, fixing... It can be past situations that has happened in relationships. We're at the final stretch there. Something is being healed. We're going to look closer at that in a second. The number 52, like we have 52 weeks in a year, it's at the very end. This mending is something that you're coming out of. Poised. That's beautiful. That's a gorgeous energy. Poised. Okay, a couple more cards. I do say many things like this while I'm shuffling, but if you want to like look in the video to where it looks like I stopped shuffle, then please do if you don't want to be a part of the shuffling. Conflict and defeat. So yeah, there's a strong indication that this soulmate is stirring up things for you. Conflict and defeat. But we're headed for triumph. It's success up ahead. I think right now, the direction that you're headed in is way better than the position that you're in right now. I think you might even be like a little bit even exhausted from this situation, or at least bored. It's like, it's not what this typical soulmate, being in love, newly met this person should be all about. Like, it's quite opposite of that, to be honest. But it looks like we're headed there. Oh, mental conflict. You're really back and forth about this person. It's all about this person this time. And Capricorn, if you feel, I was going to say, if you feel like you don't have a person that you're back and forth about, or that you're struggling with a little bit right now, or like that you're facing a little bit of conflict or drama or situations with this person, I was going to say then this reading probably isn't for you. But if we switch this to any situation that maybe, like, if this is a situation at work, if this is like, okay, this work situation has really gotten you thinking, like, you're back and forth about this job, you're back and forth about whether to stay, whether to go, should I take this to the boss, should I not take this to the boss? If you put this, I'm going to speak about it probably more around the relationship, but if you can put this, like, if that resonates for you, like in a different scenario, in a different category, then please apply it to that. Okay, so what I'm getting here is that conflict and defeat. I just have to say again, Capricorn, if you can, and again, don't shoot the messenger. You can get quite stubborn. Like, you can get a little bit stubborn when things don't really go your way, when you've started to go down one route, to one path that looks really like this is the path, or this is like, there's no other way to see this. You can get pretty locked on to that path, or a little bit stubborn, like having not the full view or the full situation, full perspective of the situation. So I'm just seeing, because we have mending, we have conflict and defeat, and we have mental conflict. So I just feel like there's something here that is like truly testing you. And if you don't just sort of sweep this under the rug, or blame it on the other person, because I'll tell you, you can finish off that person as well. Like, you can say, this is not for me, this is not what I want, they are doing this or this, and I'm not here for it. 2 months from now, you're going to have another person with the exact same thing, because it's your vibration that wants cleaning up. And I'm not saying, if this is a situation where you feel like you're being gaslighted or you're being mistreated in any way, like, of course, like, listen to your own intuition and follow whatever feels right to you. But if it's just about like a stubborn thing, and it's like, it's almost a little bit like your way or the highway, is that what you say? Then if you can take a closer look here, because there's an opportunity. Okay, I'm going to read from the book for that one. There's an opportunity here to really heal something within yourself. That this person that you're dealing with, this soulmate situation, and if this is a work situation, a boss situation, a coworker, a family member, if the situation calls out, like, it triggers you, it calls out certain sides to you, it calls out, like, you might not like yourself particularly much in this relationship or in this confrontation, then there's something there. It just, there's something there for you to mend. There's something there for you to heal. And that can go back, like, way back from like, it doesn't even make sense, because it might not, like, even be what you're dealing with now that you've dealt with in the past, but it has the same trace. It has the same trace of the trauma, that something that triggered you in childhood or like in young adulthood or like adolescence, or it triggered you. Something that was a trauma-like situation, like you're healing it now through this person, with this person. And it's not just for you, it's for them as well. That's why it's a mirror thing. 52, 32, 43. I'm just letting you know that I can count. 40, 52. Bingo. Mending. Yeah, there's a thread. It's a thread, like we're sitting, and I just see a bunch of orbs. You might not show up for the, yeah, maybe. They're little round balls here. Orbs. And I see this as an angel in the sky. So maybe you're seeing a lot of signs in the sky right now. Signs and synchronicities. She's sitting on this, I don't know what that's called in English. En trådrulle. A thread roll. A thread roll. It's like a huge thingy with the thread on it. And I just feel like we're threading this back to childhood. We're mending something here. 52. So the essential meaning of this card is forgiveness. Making amends, healing after arguments. Look at that. The Oracle's message states, each time we are hurt and allow the hurt to pass through us without understanding and integration, we accumulate an unwanted burden. This keeps us chained to the very things we need to heal. The pain, the memories, the echoes of resentment, and the arguments that we rehearse over and over. Now is the time for mending rifts, healing wounds, and letting go of the old hurts in order to reclaim your power. Now is the time to forgive, to release, to make peace, and to make amends to others. Set yourself free. So the very basics of this card is very much what I spoke about. Like, there's an opportunity here. It might look like it's like, what's this annoying person's deal? You know? But there's an opportunity to really take your power back and really mend this at once and for all. And I don't think it's like why it maybe upsets you so much. If this didn't have a root cause, it wouldn't really upset you. So it's the root cause that you're mending, that you're healing, that you're taking your power back from, not the actual situation that's happening right now. And it might be, if you don't recognize yourself in this at all, it might be that they're so reactive to things that you're saying. You can say the slightest thing, and in your book, it's like, I can't even raise my voice a little bit, or I can't even, not raise your voice, but like, you can't even, it feels to you like you're just speaking, and the other person is like floored. I can't believe you said that. Said what? Like, it's like the slightest thing gets them upset, or the slightest thing gets you upset. It's like a reactive energy that is being brought up to the surface to be healed. Okay. And so maybe just sort of be a little bit more non-judgmental towards your person or towards yourself. If we can be kinder in this process and understand that people just don't react, like just like children, when I get so annoyed when people say like, oh, they're just acting out, or they're just sort of playing games, or like they don't play games, they react to things that feel something to them. And to overlook that just suppresses the feeling. And now here we are, 20, 30, 40 years later, dealing with those very things. Okay, the relationship message states, you've come to a place where forgiveness is necessary if you're to move forward. Separate or together, you and the other person are still experiencing the effects of a hurt that is impacting everything that you do. Even if you're not aware of it, then that's tricky. If you're not aware of it, it's tricky. The energy needs to clear. What must you do to bridge this gap? Closing your heart is not the answer. You have the power to heal this wound. Ask yourself, what would love do? Only good will come of forgiveness and an honest, I don't know that word, redress, 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 redress. I guess like only good will come of forgiveness and an honest, like having an open dialogue, like just being really open about it. So again, this might be, so think to a situation like if this is a situation that is still playing in your life. That's probably why this is playing out with this person right now. So Capricorn, if you're looking at the situation, feel if you go into your past relationships, is there a relationship where you felt really hurt? Is there a relationship where you feel like you haven't really fully forgiven the situation or the person, or maybe even yourself in a particular relationship? Do you feel like you have hurt someone, or that you have been extra, coming across maybe a little bit? I'm not saying that you're abusive, because I don't feel that energy at all, but maybe not so understanding of another person, and then you regret that. And maybe you haven't forgiven yourself for that, or if that's you being trampled all over, if there's someone else that has sort of, have you forgiven those situations? Like look into that and be honest with yourself. Like, is there some place within yourself in previous relationships that needs mending? If you can't find it, it might be that you're unaware of this, that you have suppressed it, or like you're just not interested in bringing that back up. Then it is a little bit of a tricky thing, but life will continue to give you things until you unlock certain things within you. I am proof of that. And the situation here is that, okay, you might know that, yeah, I know exactly what that is, and I'm working on forgiving that myself or them. Or you might just have a feeling like, no, there actually isn't something to forgive here. That it might be this very situation that you're sort of looking at right now, that you need to be more of have like more of a forgiving nature towards the person that you're now looking at, or having more of a forgiving nature towards yourself in the way that you're dealing or handling this relationship or this situation with this person. And then we have the prosperity message here. Everyone makes mistakes, especially when you want something very badly. You may come to realize that in chasing after a pretty shiny thing, you lost sight of long-term sustainable prosperity. So for some of you guys, this might be that, I don't want to say that this is a quick fix, almost like a one-night stand thing, because it's a soulmate. So, but maybe your interaction with the person has been like, oh, I'm just gonna sort of, this is probably just a little fling. This is probably like, I'm not gonna even look into this situation further. because it's not really doing all that for me, you have like a short term thinking about this person, and nothing wrong with that if that's what you want. But either way, either scenario, it has triggered something in you that has awakened something within you. So, and if you want to start to look long term, maybe there's a different way to look at this. If you knew that you needed to stay with this person forever, I'm not saying that you have to. If this is a family member, if this is a romantic partner, if this is a coworker, if you knew that you needed to stay with this person forever, what would you have to change about yourself, or what would you like to have them change? What needed to shift in order for you to be able to continue with this person? If you are willing to go there, you can heal so much through those questions rather than saying, I'm done with that person. I'm done with their behavior. I'm done with to try to at least look at this. Okay. Everyone makes mistakes, especially when you want something very badly. You may come to realize that in chasing after a pretty shiny thing, you lost sight of long-term sustainable prosperity. Sometimes you make choices that look good at first, but ultimately lead to loss or failure. It's time to forgive yourself and others. Don't blame anyone else. There you go, Capricorn. You get to start again, wiser and more mature. The journey to true abundance can be bumpy. Make amends to anyone you may have hurt along the way, especially yourself. Forgive those who may have taken advantage of you. Here it comes exactly what I just said. Who have taken advantage of you. Let go and learn from this. You are now that much closer to achieving the kind of prosperity / relationship that really fulfills you. Nothing is ever lost or wasted when you view it from this perspective. So there's no losing game here, but there is a big, I just feel like this is what this whole thing is about, this mending. Like there's such an opportunity to heal this situation. We already, like, conflict and defeat, this is really taking a toll on you. Like I said, this is not fun. This is not like what a soulmate connection should be. Although it's sometimes what they are. I know for a fact that I've met a soulmate in my lifetime that was the worst personality I've ever come across. And I'm not exaggerating. And how can I then say that it's a soulmate? Because I know that in the ways that I was triggered by this relationship, I've never been triggered in my entire life. If this was a person who wouldn't touch my soul, or if this is a person who sort of couldn't really reach me, then I wouldn't be bothered. Like, you can do whatever you want to do. I'm going to be over here until you calm down, you know? But it got to me. And so soulmates, when we're working, when we're in the presence of a soulmate and we're working something out within ourselves, it can get quite nasty. And if we're in the presence of a soulmate, when we're on the sort of solution side and the achieving side and the allowing side, a soulmate interaction is the most beautiful thing you ever dealt with, you ever encountered. So right now, and I'm not saying this can't lead to the other side of that. It can't be a situation that you're turning around, but this is not fun. Conflict and defeat, you're quite at a loss for like what to do here. Maybe even a little bit disappointed. And in mental conflict, I think you're going back and forth, like what to do with this situation, what to do with this person. How do I make progress here? Do I even want to make progress here? Do I want to sort of withdraw and not see them again? Or do I really want to sit down with this person? It almost feels like it's an hour by hour basis. It's not even like a day to day basis. It's like, okay, this morning I felt really good. And now again, like 2 hours later, here we are, like in a mental conflict. I will read about Poised though, because we have success here. It's a triumphant situation, and we have Poised, which is such a beautiful energy that is like on the table. So we have a working through this situation. So we're starting with the Poised, number 48. Do you want to hear that I can count? 43. There you go. 48. So this is a person, she's on a pedestal. So that can also be a thing that, okay, a couple of things coming through. Sorry, I just have to say that before we start to read here. It can be that you have put this person on a pedestal, and because you put the person on a pedestal to begin with, if we put someone on the pedestal really high up, it means that they can fall down really quickly. One misstep and you're off that pedestal, right? So it's a pretty big job for the person to stay on the pedestal. It might be that they're saying one wrong thing, or they're doing something, and immediately like the ick factor comes in. It's like, ugh, this is not what I signed up for. Well, if we don't put them on the pedestal to begin with, it's not such a big fall. Like if we're starting on the ground and work ourselves up, it's like there's nowhere to fall. It's like we just get excited about what next we are experiencing from this person rather than pointing out their faults and flaws. If this is them putting you on a pedestal, that the littlest thing, is that such a thing to say in English? Littlest? The smallest thing that you do or say, like I said before, the smallest thing that you do or say or behave is going to make them go, ugh. Because they put you up on a pedestal. They put you so far up, you know where, that thinking like, oh, I met my queen for life, or I met my king for life. And then you said something to just rub them completely the wrong way, and off you went from that pedestal, and it just turns into a, I don't know what. And you could just be like, that could be the mental conflict as well. Like, I don't know what happened. I thought they really liked me. They liked the version of you. I'm not saying that they don't like you, but they might have had like an image of you that's like so in their head about who you are, who you're supposed to be. And when you don't match that image, it falls really quickly. Okay. And you know which one it is. Essential meanings of this card: being ready, bringing something to light, being at your best, confidence. The Oracle's message states, you can be assured that you are ready for anything right now. Look at that. It's a completely different energy. You know what you need to. Your skills are sharp. You've come to this place armed with wisdom and knowledge. And you sense a new phase of your life about to begin. People respond to your confidence and trust you. This is an auspicious time to begin new things. The relationship message states, when you're confident and happy in your own skin, you are ready for deeper, more intimate relationships. You have nothing to prove right now. You are completely yourself and can handle anything. Love, friendships, and harmonious new connections are all present now or are coming in. You're ready to give and receive from the heart. This is a beautiful place to be. And then the prosperity message states, you have every reason to feel confident. Everything you need to make your success concrete is now at your disposal. You can take action knowing you're ready to step into your power, into your light, and into your service to the world. The direction that we're speaking about today, the direction you're moving in is your destiny. Wow, that's bluntly in your face. The direction you're headed in is your destiny. Your soul is smiling with joy as you align with this truth. So that is where you're headed. I'm going to read the protection message just underneath it because I feel like this is where you're headed, but I want to read where you're at. You're not ready to move forward at this time, and that has to be okay. Be poised in the face of demands and deadlines. Pretending you know what you're doing works sometimes, but if you adopt a fake it till you make it attitude, it will land you in some muck now. This is not the time to wing it or deliver something half finished. It's okay to postpone things until you're really ready. It's better to disappoint others now than to wish you had later. So I want to show you, I don't want this whole reading to be just doom and gloom and just sort of telling you where you're at, because you know where you're at. You could tell me where you're at. So what you want here is upliftment, right? You want to know what direction you're headed in. So it is right now a tricky situation. The reason it's tricky is not so because life is out to get you, is so that you can have a reason to mend the situation from something in your previous upbringing, childhood, young adulthood, something to be healed here. You're headed to a powerful place, to a place where you feel really like strong within yourself, knowing who you are, knowing your knowing your integrity, meaning knowing your boundaries, knowing what you're ready to allow and what you're really not, and putting that foot down is going to really make a difference for you. Like it said, like if this is a relationship, if this is a soulmate relationship, it'll come back around. If you're supposed to be with this person will come back around. I've seen it over and over. I've seen it in my own life. I've seen it in other people's lives. Like, we might think that if I let this go now, maybe there's like a fear of making the wrong choice. The mental conflict can be that you feel like there is some sort of foundation there. You feel like if we could just work these things out, then it could be so good. And then you're afraid that if you drop this person, sound harsh, if you separate from this person, then maybe you're making the wrong decision. And you can only make the decision that you feel right now. Of course, if you feel like the most stressed out or the most irritated or annoyed or sad or even angry at this time, I would sleep on it. I would take a couple of days and detach myself from the situation and get a little bit more clear-minded. But like it said in the book, like if you're afraid to hurt the other person, it's better to disappoint them now than later, because they're just getting more and more invested. So you need to feel here what is this about, Capricorn? Where are you in this? If you're with the person that you just really love, you really want to continue with them, you really feel like, yeah, we have some kinks to work out. I can forgive myself in this situation. I can forgive them in this situation. You could be headed here. It's like true success. It's the poised energy. It's like you're stepping back into your power and we have success. So that's also on the table, but it doesn't mean staying with the person and working it out doesn't mean that's the only reason why it is a success. It can be that you understand this is not for me, at least not at this moment. This moment in time is not for me. I need to walk away. That's also success. That's also you. If that is what you feel like, and you will know that in the heart of hearts, you will know. That's what came out with the truth be told, that there is a mirror energy here. There is a person for you. There's a situation for you that's mirroring what's going on for you right now. And the greatest thing, and only you know that, Capricorn, because it's a general read here. So for some of you guys, it means that staying and forgiving is the greatest thing. It's what's going to bring you success. And for some of you guys, it's going to be taking my own power back, choosing myself, choosing to walk away from this relationship. That's what's going to bring success for you right now. And only you know. Only you have the answer to that. And if you feel like that's what I'm trying to figure out, like if the mental conflict comes in there, give it a rest for a bit. Even if you have to tell the other person, I can't speak to you for a couple of days. I just need to sort myself out to be able to show up more brilliantly, more loving for you. I'm stepping away for a moment. Be honest, be open, be really communicative. Step away for a moment, take your time, sleep on it, and then come back clear-minded. And even if you're coming back clear-minded saying, I don't want to do this anymore, that's okay. For right now, you were not meant to stay together. Or if you're coming back clear-minded and say, you just need to drop the stubbornness a little bit and maybe see it from the other person's perspective, or starting over and forgive myself, forgive maybe a person from the past. I want to go another round here. Then that's what you need to do. Some final messages from your angels. What do we have for Capricorn, please? terms of what direction they're headed in. Ooh! Sorry. Sorry about that noise, and sorry about my yelling. Trust. Trust your intuition, trust the guidance, trust what you're feeling. I know that every single person, you know, Capricorn, deep down where you're headed. And again, if you don't, detach yourself and just trust that you're being guided in the right direction. And also, if you feel rejected, I just thought of that expression. Rejection is rejection is redirection and God's protection. So however we turn this, nothing's going wrong here. If you're trusting the outcome, trusting your intuition, trusting where you're being pointed, and apparently your direction right now is headed towards your destiny, where you're destined to be. And I've never heard of a person who was destined to be in a situation that sucked. It might be that they were destined to be in a little bit of a sucky position a few times to lead up to the good stuff, but never have I heard a person say, oh, my destiny is full of anger and rage and missed opportunities. You know, but you might need to work some kinks out on the way there. If you're interested in a personal reading about this, or about anything else for that matter, please read about it in the description box and send me a message. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It really helps me a lot. Thank you so much for watching, Capricorn. I'm sending you a huge hug if this is a struggling situation for you. Look out for the June messages also. Take care.